Okay, so picture this. You're at the airport. You know, maybe it's your first time, maybe you're a total pro at this whole travel thing. But no matter what, airports can be a little, I don't know, overwhelming, right?
Absolutely.
Especially if you're trying to navigate it all in a language that isn't your first.
Yeah, that adds a whole other layer of complexity.
So today we're diving into some super useful phrases and tips all about making your airport experience a breeze. You know, how to breeze through check-in, security, all that. We're going to help you feel confident and prepared every step of the way.
Even for seasoned travelers, airports are constantly changing. There are new rules, new layouts. It's like a constant evolution.
Exactly. So even if you've done this a million times, a little refresher never hurts.
Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. Never hurts to brush up on those airport essentials.
All right, so let's start right at the beginning. You've just arrived at the airport. You've got your ticket, your passport, maybe a little bit of those pre-flight jitters.
Oh, yeah, those jitters are part of the experience.
Totally. So you're at the check-in counter, and the first thing, the most important thing is to have those documents ready, your passport and ticket, just to make that check-in process as smooth as possible.
Definitely. Having those documents ready to go is key.
Yeah, I've definitely learned that the hard way. This guide we're looking at, it suggests starting with a really simple phrase, just to, start things off on the right foot. It seems obvious, but it's super helpful. Just say, I'd like to check in for my flight, please.
It's so simple, but so important. It sets the tone for a positive interaction. Politeness goes a long way, especially in a busy airport environment.
Exactly. Those pleases and thank yous can make all the difference.
Absolutely. And while you're at it, make sure you have your passport and ticket out and ready to show the agent. They'll probably ask for them right away.
Okay, so you've checked in. Now it's time to tackle luggage.
Ah, yes, the luggage dilemma. Carry-on, check bags, weight limits. It can get tricky.
Yeah, especially if you, like me, tend to overpack.
I think we've all been there. The struggle is real.
So first things first, if you have a larger suitcase that you need to check, the guide recommends using a clear, concise phrase. I have one suitcase to check. Will do the trick.
That's perfect. Nice and simple.
But before you even get to that point, there's something really important to keep in mind. Weight limits.
Oh, those dreaded weight limits. They can sneak up on you.
They really can. And, ending up with an overweight bag can be super stressful. You're at the counter, you're trying to rearrange things, maybe even pay extra fees. Not fun.
Not fun at all. And that's why this guide emphasizes checking those weight limits in advance. Most airlines have them listed online.
Right. Just a little bit of planning can save you a lot of hassle. I mean, who wants to start their trip with a luggage-induced meltdown?
No one. And, speaking of hassle-free travel, online check-in can be a real game changer. It's becoming more and more common these days.
Oh, yeah. I love online check-in.
It's so convenient. You can often print your bag tags at home, sometimes even pay for checked bags in advance, which can save you a ton of time at the airport.
Anything that lets me bypass those airport queues, I'm all for it. Okay, so we've checked in. Bags are hopefully within those weight limits. Now comes the part that, tends to make everyone a bit nervous. Security. The guide even calls out that common worry. What if they think I'm hiding something? It's like a little voice in the back of your head.
I know exactly what you mean. Security can definitely be a bit nerve-wracking.
Especially if it's not something you do very often.
Right. It's understandable to feel a little apprehensive.
Yeah.
But, remember that airport security is there for everyone's safety. It's just part of the process, and it's generally pretty standard.
So true. And this guide, it actually highlights the importance of staying calm and following instructions. Just smile, be polite, and it'll all go smoothly.
That's the key. Smiling and following instructions can make a huge difference.
And speaking of instructions, this guide also encourages us to be proactive about communication. If you're unsure about anything, don't hesitate to ask for clarification.
Exactly. It's much better to ask than to risk any misunderstanding. Right.
So, for instance, if you didn't quite catch what the security officer said, just politely ask, could you please repeat that? Or, I'm sorry, can you help me understand?
Simple, clear communication can really help alleviate any anxiety. And, you'll likely be asked to remove electronics, liquids, put them in those bins. And a lot of airports also require you to remove shoes, belts, jackets.
I always try to wear slip-on shoes when I travel, just to speed things up a bit. Minimizing metal accessories can also help. Every little bit counts when you're in those security lines.
Absolutely. Those little things can make a big difference. And remember, everyone's in the same boat, going through the same process. The security staff is there to help guide you through it.
Exactly. They're there to help. Okay, you've made it through check-in, security, you're officially in the airport, congratulations. But now we enter the world of waiting. Specifically, waiting at the gate.
Ah, yes, the waiting game.
It's all part of the travel experience.
It is.
Yeah,
And it's where paying close attention becomes super important. Boarding announcements, gate changes, delays, you've got to stay alert.
definitely. This guide actually points out a specific phrase to watch out for. Now boarding passengers in Zone 1. Seems simple, but you wouldn't believe how many people miss their boarding group because they weren't paying attention.
It's easy to get distracted, especially if the airport is busy and there's a lot going on.
So the key takeaway here is to double-check your boarding pass for your zone number and be ready when it's your turn to board.
Absolutely. Preparedness is key, especially at the gate. And, even if you've been to an airport 100 times, things can change. Gates get switched, flights get delayed. Always be prepared for the unexpected.
Ugh, delays. The bane of every traveler's existence.
Yeah, those delays can really throw a wrench in your plans.
They really can. And you're sitting there at the gate, you hear that announcement, Flight 345 to New York has been delayed. We apologize for the inconvenience. Not exactly what you want to hear.
It's never fun to hear about a delay. But these things happen. And when they do, the most important thing is to stay calm, listen for updates, and remember that the gate agents are your best resource for information.
They are. They're the ones in the know.
Exactly. So if your flight is delayed or your gate changes, don't panic. Just stay informed and be patient.
Okay, so we've made it. We're finally boarding the plane.
It's such a good feeling, isn't it?
I know, right? You've gone through security, you've waited at the gate, and now you're finally stepping onto that plane. It's like the adventure is officially starting.
It is. There's something so exciting about that moment, stepping on board and knowing you're about to take off to a new destination.
Absolutely. But even in all that excitement, I think it's super important to remember to be courteous, especially when interacting with the flight attendants.
Oh, for sure. Those flight attendants work so hard to make sure everyone is safe and comfortable. They deserve all the kindness and respect we can give them.
I completely agree. And this guide actually highlights a phrase that I think is so important, but often overlooked, especially when you're first getting on the plane. Could you help me find my seat, please? It sounds simple, but in the midst of all that hustle and bustle of boarding, everyone's trying to find their seats, stow their bags. It can get a little chaotic.
Totally. Especially if you're dealing with overhead compartments and maneuvering those sometimes too big carry-on bags. It's so helpful to just ask for help. Could you help me with my bag? Just remember, they are there to help you.
Exactly. They're there to help. Okay, you've settled into your seat, you've managed to stow your bag away, and then comes that familiar moment, the safety demonstration. Fasten your seatbelts, tray tables up, the whole routine.
Yeah, that pre-flight safety briefing. It's so easy to tune it out, especially if you're a frequent flyer and you've seen it a million times.
I know, but I have to remind myself, it's really important to pay attention, just in case. It's like that saying, better safe than sorry.
Definitely. Those announcements might seem routine, but they contain important information, about safety procedures, what to do in an emergency.
Right.
It's always better to be prepared.
Okay, so let's fast forward a bit. You're mid-flight, maybe you're feeling a little thirsty, a little hungry, and you want to get the flight attendant's attention.
Yeah, that can feel a little awkward sometimes, trying to flag them down.
I know, right? Especially if the flight is busy and they're rushing up and down the aisle.
But, just having a few key phrases handy can make it a lot easier and a lot less awkward. Something as simple as, could I please have a glass of water? Or, is it possible to get a snack? Can make all the difference.
And politeness goes a long way. I always try to make eye contact and smile when I'm making a request. Just those little gestures, to make the interaction more pleasant.
Exactly. It's about treating everyone with respect, especially those who are working hard to take care of us. Okay, so now we're landing, the plane has touched down, you've successfully navigated the in-flight experience. But the journey's not over yet, especially if you're entering a new country.
Oh, yes. Customs. That can be a bit daunting, even for experienced travelers.
It can be. But, this guide actually emphasizes that the most important thing is to be honest and clear when answering the customs officer's questions.
Right. No need to overcomplicate things.
Exactly. They're just doing their job. They're likely to ask you about the purpose of your visit, how long you'll be staying, that sort of thing. Just keep your answers straightforward and to the point.
And this guide actually gives some great examples. Like, if they ask you about the purpose of your trip, you could say, I'm here on vacation for 2 weeks.
Perfect. Simple and clear.
And if they ask about items you're bringing into the country, And you don't have anything to declare. Just a simple, no, I don't have anything to declare is all you need.
Exactly. No need to overthink it. Okay, let's talk about something that nobody wants to experience, but it's good to be prepared for, just in case. Lost luggage.
Ugh, I know. It's like the ultimate travel nightmare.
It can be,
Uh-huh.
but it happens. And if your luggage doesn't show up at baggage claim, the most important thing is to stay calm. Don't panic.
Right. Easier said than done, I know. But it's not the end of the world. This guide actually walks us through what to do. First things first, locate the airline's lost baggage counter.
Right. They're usually pretty easy to find.
And once you're there, just explain the situation to them. And this is the key phrase to use. My luggage hasn't arrived. Can you help me locate it?
Perfect. Simple and to the point. It's also a good idea to have your flight information handy and a copy of your itinerary just in case they need it.
Right, all those important documents.
Yeah.
And while losing your luggage is a huge hassle, in most cases, the airlines are pretty good about tracking down missing bags and getting them to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, they have systems in place for this sort of thing, thankfully.
Okay, so we've done it. We've made it through the airport. From check-in to customs, even a potential luggage mishap.
We've navigated it all.
But, this is just the beginning of our travel deep dive. The airport is just the first step. Remember, once you've cleared customs, a whole new world awaits.
Exactly. And, whether you're exploring a new city, immersing yourself in a different culture, or just relaxing on a beach, clear communication can make your entire travel experience so much smoother and enjoyable.
It really can. It's like having a secret weapon in your travel toolkit. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about some essential phrases that can come in handy once you've ventured beyond those airport walls.
Let's do it. Let's equip ourselves with the linguistic tools for an amazing travel adventure.
Welcome back to our travel deep dive.
It's been quite a journey so far, hasn't it?
It really has, from mastering those airport essentials to navigating new cities.
Even those sometimes tricky travel interactions.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
And now, for the grand finale, we're turning our attention to something that really captures the heart of our adventures. Travel photography.
Ah, yes. Capturing those travel memories, freezing those moments in time,
Exactly. Telling stories without words.
sharing those experiences with the world, through those amazing images.
I love that. A single photograph, it's like it can transport you right back to that moment. A bustling market in Morocco, a peaceful temple in Thailand, that breathtaking sunset over the Italian countryside.
It's true. It's like a time machine.
It really is. And, this guide we're looking at, it really emphasizes that travel photography is so much more than just, pointing and shooting.
Oh, absolutely. It's an art form. There's so much to it.
There really is. And there are all these amazing tips and tricks to really elevate your travel photography game.
Yeah, it's about capturing the soul of a place, wouldn't you say?
I totally agree. And it all starts, I think, with being present, really observing, really noticing those little details that make a place unique.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the foundation. Paying attention to the light, the shadows, the colors, the way people move and interact. It's about slowing down,
Yeah.
taking it all in, and then finding that perfect moment to capture.
Yeah, and speaking of moments, one thing this guide really emphasizes is the importance of moving beyond those, typical tourist snapshots.
All right. Those postcard perfect shots, they have their place.
They do, but there's so much more to capture.
Absolutely. It's about experimenting, trying different angles, perspectives, compositions.
Yeah. Get down low, climb up high, find those unique vantage points that reveal a different side of a place.
And don't be afraid to capture those everyday moments, those little details that tell a story. A cup of coffee at that sidewalk cafe, a vibrant street mural, those kids playing with that balloon. Sometimes those seemingly ordinary moments, they hold the most extraordinary beauty.
It's so true. I think it's so easy to get caught up in those iconic landmarks and those Instagram-worthy shots.
Yeah.
But this guide has really inspired me to, look for beauty in those unexpected places.
It's about capturing what speaks to you, not necessarily what you think you should be photographing.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about the human element in travel photography. Capturing portraits of people, those people you encounter on your travels, that can be so rewarding.
It can be. There's something so special about capturing a human face, a human story.
It really connects you to a place in a different way.
It does. But it's also super important to approach it with sensitivity and respect. Yeah.
Definitely. This guide really stresses that. Always, always ask for permission before taking someone's photograph. A smile, a gesture, it can go a long way.
It's about acknowledging that person, making that connection.
It's not just about getting a good shot. It's about respecting the person you're photographing.
And, a portrait is more than just a face. It's about capturing a glimpse into someone's life, their story, their essence.
So true. All right, let's talk a little bit about the more, I don't know, technical side of photography. Understanding your camera, the settings, composition, those things can make a huge difference in the quality of your images.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, don't be afraid to experiment. Play around with different lenses, aperture settings, shutter speeds. You might be surprised at the amazing effects you can create.
I have to admit, I get a little intimidated by all the technical stuff.
But that's the beauty of digital photography these days. You can experiment and learn as you go. There's so many resources available, online tutorials, workshops. It's a fun process.
It is. I'm definitely inspired to learn more, play around with my camera settings a bit more, see what I can create.
And you know what? Sometimes the best travel photographs are the ones that, break the rules, the ones that are a little bit unexpected, a little bit creative. It's about finding your own unique style.
I love that. So as we wrap up our exploration of travel photography, I want to leave you with this question. How can we use our photographs to, not just document our travels, but to inspire others to explore the world, to connect with different cultures?
That's such a great question. It's about using photography as a tool for storytelling.
And for connection.
Exactly. To share our experiences in a way that fosters curiosity, understanding, and appreciation for the beauty and diversity of our planet.
I love that. So as you continue on your travel adventures, remember to capture those moments that speak to your soul. Share your stories through those photographs and inspire others to embark on their own journeys of discovery. And with that, we've come to the end of our travel deep dive. We've explored everything from navigating those sometimes chaotic airports to immersing ourselves in new cultures and even capturing those unforgettable moments through the lens of our cameras.
We hope you've enjoyed this journey with us and that you feel inspired to embark on your own adventures, equipped with the knowledge, insights, and maybe even a few new phrases to make your travels even more fulfilling.
Remember, travel is more than just visiting new places. It's about embracing the unknown, connecting with the world, and creating memories that will last a lifetime. So until next time, safe travels.
Safe travels.